Greetings and welcome to Nathan Lyle Official. If you've never seen my face in a video before, my name is Nathan Lyle. This is my personal channel where I do vlogs, reviews, and anything else that happens to catch my fancy. Today, I'm going to do a Rants and Rambles. It's a series that I have where anytime I got a lot of things on my mind, I just talk about it for, 20-something minutes, get it off my chest. Normally, these videos are completely unedited. Everything I say is entirely off the cuff. And that is somewhat true with this video, but there is going to be a little bit of editing, partly because, a week ago it was my birthday. I got myself some stuff, and I wanted to record a video, but ended up not feeling like recording a video, so I recorded a video where I didn't say anything, so that you're going to be seeing that footage instead of seeing me today. So I have no idea when this video is gonna go up, but cause it might not come out this month because right now it's the end of May. We got a couple days left in the month, and honestly, I'm tired. Work got busy. I mean, we haven't been hitting our goals. I did air quotes, and so boss has been cutting hours, which thankfully now that I'm a part of the management team, I have guaranteed hours. So other people getting like 2 days a week, I'm still getting my full-time thing. My paychecks have increased, so that's good. But I'm also been very tired lately because they still expect the same quality of work, even though the second we cut the staff down in half, that's when everyone decides to start coming in. Plus, last night I walked home in a flash flood, and when I say walked home, I mean I waded through a river. I mean I do check the weather. They didn't. I mean there was a small chance of rain, but I checked it in the morning, and that chance apparently increased throughout the day because late at night, wind started picking up. We're getting flash flood alerts, and I'm like, of fucking course. And just right as we're closing, it's like, yeah, they're gonna uh, what's the word? Yeah, look, it starts raining. Why did I forget that word? Anyways, yeah, it literally starts raining right as we're trying to start closing. So, you know, I wish I had bought an umbrella? No, not really, because it wouldn't have made much of a difference because I'm literally like wading through a river to get home. So yeah, my feet got the worst of it regardless. But anyways, um, yeah. So what am I gonna talk about today? Fuck, I completely forgot. Give me 1 second. Oh, I remembered. So, anyways, yeah. Um, so yeah, this video it's being recorded at the end of May, and the footage you're watching now was shot over a week ago when it was my birthday. Got back from my mom's. She got me chocolate cake. And then because it's my birthday, I was like, I'm gonna treat myself. I went to Minano, got some rice balls, some drinks. Stopped by 5 Points on the way home, got some Venom, and I saw some Skittles drinks. I decided, you know what, let's grab one and see. It's probably pure sugar, but fuck it. It ended up tasting good. And I also stopped by Taco Bell, got some nachos and a burrito, because fuck it. Birthday. Treat yourself. Anyways, yeah. Honestly, I gotta say, I take back something I said. I kind of shit on Taco Bell a little bit because they had those chicken nuggets, and I was saying they ain't all that. But you know what? They're actually pretty good. In the second that they came back, I ended up going back and getting me some. And you know what? It's the people's fault because nothing ruins something good more than too much hype. Like legitimately, and there are so many great things that I've ended up being like, yeah, this is crap, just because everyone's like, this is the best thing that's ever happened. You're gonna love it, and I'm like, it's just okay. Because when people tell me you can't find anything bad about it, I'm just like, let me find everything bad I can about this. You know, so like, cause like with movies, there's a bunch of movies that legitimately, people went in either saying, hey, this is the worst thing ever, not worth sitting through. And I watched it and I'm like, dude, this is hilarious. I love it. Like one movie that came out when I was a kid called Cats and Dogs, which I will say is an objectively bad movie, but I enjoyed it. And I think I enjoyed it more because everyone else said I wouldn't enjoy it. I'm stubborn that way. And there's very few movies that have ever like lived up to the hype. You know, everyone, and that's I can count on one hand the amount of movies that have lived up to hype, and where it's like everyone's like, this is the best movie ever, you have to see it. And those three movies have been Deadpool, which, you know, you can argue about how well written the movie is, but let's be honest, the final product that you put on the screen was so fucking enjoyable. I mean, it's trash. It's a garbage movie, but it's the most enjoyable piece of shit ever because I mean, it gives you exactly what you want out of that character, you know? But it's hilarious, it's action packed, and then you got like a movie that, in my opinion, really hasn't aged that well. You got The Dark Knight, and honestly, I'm gonna have to give an opinion on that someday because it's one of those things that, like, when it first came out, I refused to watch it because everyone was saying how amazing it was. I didn't see The Dark Knight until The Dark Knight Rises came out, and you know and then I ended up actually being pretty damn good. It was amazing over time, though, especially more and more movies coming out, more and more to compare it to. I'm realizing overall, not that great a movie. That's just my personal opinion. Heath Ledger, the Joker, still one of the best performances, hero or villain, ever in any movie. Just hell, regardless of even superhero. That was just an amazing performance. He embodied that role. And he single-handedly makes the entire trilogy worth sitting through. You know, but decades later, it just, to me, doesn't hold up as well. That's just my personal opinion. And the other one would be the original Guardians of the Galaxy. That one was a pretty fun movie. Once again, it was like a year or two after it came out. Because I do remember the original Avengers, everyone was saying, oh my fucking god. And like I said, that one too, like a year or two after it came out, I watched it on streaming. And it was like, meh, it's okay, but, you know, pacing and blah blah and all this shit. But I'm not sick. My throat's dry because it's early in the morning. But anyways, yeah, the Avengers. I've actually rewatched it recently a couple of times actually, and it's just like this thing is pretty fucking amazing, especially like because like back then they seem to focus on good storytelling. They don't always do that with a lot of modern movies. But anyways, yeah. Nothing ruins something good better than being overhyped because it raises the expectations too much. Like, if you really want people to enjoy something, tell them it's gonna suck. Okay? There's all these people out here bragging about how big their dick is. No. You tell your girlfriend, sorry, I've got a tiny dick. I have no idea what I'm doing. And then, guess what? Everything you do is going to seem amazing by comparison. She's like, wow, that was better than I expected. So anyways, I actually want to talk about wrestling. I don't do enough of that on this channel. I do love wrestling, but I also don't like talking about it just because there's a lot of people out there with a lot of opinions. Because, like, recently we had Saturday night's main event, which, you know, honestly, overall, I'd say kind of disappointing. Which, for me, the low light of the night seemed to be other people's favorite part of the night, which was the body just going off about Priest walking out of the cage. And to me, like, personally, from my perspective, that was shitty commentary ruining an otherwise epic moment. Other people have on the internet seem to think it's the exact opposite, that it's amazing commentary that saved a bad match. But I'm like, nah. The match was kind of epic. And it's like this man straight up killed another human being, and then he just casually strolls out there. You know what? You know what that was? That was cool guys not looking at explosions. You know, he just blew this motherfucker up, and he just casually just walked away. And that's the badass moment for me. You know, he lit a match. And he just walked away, and then the hospital blew up behind him, and he just keeps strolling. Like, that's what that was. And then some old dude over here just yelling, how can you just walk out of the cage? What? Like, shut up. But like, that's just me. I'm sure, like I said, that's the great thing about humanity in general. There is such a spectrum. Everyone has their own opinions. But when you tell your opinion on the internet, there's always going to be someone who just has to disagree with you, and they have to make sure you know exactly how much they disagree with you. So I've always been hesitant to share personal opinions, which is weird since I've shared a lot of them. But that's one good thing about talking about, or I mostly stick to older stuff, like the things I grew up with, because, hey, I can admit, sometimes nostalgia blinds you to the truth. So I can just be like, hey, sorry, this was my thing that I was a kid with, so fuck you. This, like, shaped me. I'll always love it. It's a lot easier to defend that, you know, as opposed to trying to defend, like, say, AEW, which, hey, there's a lot of tribalism in wrestling, but for me, AEW is like, I love the fact that we live in a world where there are multiple companies out there, TNA, NJPW, you know, all this shit going on. Like, literally can watch wrestling 5 days a week, and that's kind of amazing. And look, I didn't actually live through like a lot of the early stuff, so I'm sure other people will definitely tell me I'm wrong. But from my perspective as a historian, kind of watching this shit in retrospect, to me, you know, WCW didn't almost put WWF out of business. It saved it. I mean, WWF was a rocket ship to the moon, but it was already falling off even before Nitro took the air. And it seems like it was Nitro going to the air that forced the WWF to realize we needed to change. Because these guys are stealing the ratings. They're putting on a hell of a show. They're taking risk. And the NWO was on fire. And then, I mean, Stone Cold ended up just... It was one of those things where, like, hey, once the fans got on board, we got no choice but to give them exactly what the fuck they want, because we need them tuning in, we need them watching. You know, I feel like if they weren't actively trying to compete with the NWO, with Nitro, with those trying to fight for those ratings, we might not have gotten DX on TV. 'Cause let's be honest, I don't think there's any other era of wrestling where you could have gotten away with that. It's just, DX was just something else entirely. Now, like I said, a lot of people will disagree with me, especially the people who, like, grew up watching this shit. Me, like, I casually watched it a little bit. Like, my era was Ruthless Aggression. You know, that's when I was the most actively watching everything, you know, in that 2000 to 2010 era. You know, when I was in, like, middle school and high school. So, this is just me watching in retrospect. So, you know, like I said, people are going to say they disagree. You're allowed to. This is an opinion based on what I've observed, that, like, WCW, like, saved WWF by forcing it to evolve, to try new things, to go in a different direction, to become something else. And not to mention that, you know, when WCW did fold, it ended up some amazing wrestlers that were discovered over there came over here. Because, like, a lot of the greatest wrestlers in WWF and WWE, they got their start over there at WCW. You know, because Rey Mysterio and Eddie Guerrero, they were over there first. They were putting on shows over there, Halloween Havoc and shit. I don't think Vince gives them a second look. You know, these end up being two legends, two of the greatest ever. Chris Jericho, he barely made an impact in WCW. But then his transition to WWE, he somehow managed to elevate himself to one of the biggest main eventers. You know, he ended up like Chris Jericho was legendary when I was a kid. I mean, not necessarily same level as Rock and Hogan and stuff like that, but still, this man was on your screen and you wanted to see him there. You know, it's just like, and I feel like that's the same thing that's happening with AEW. And AEW is being smarter about it because, like, Nitro, they declared war. Put it on Monday. They went after the WWE, trying to put them out of service. But with AEW, they're moving that shit to different nights. I've seen them. They're trying to actively avoid direct competition with WWE, partly because they know they're gonna lose. But that's not the point. The point is, I mean, to me, you can almost think of the AEW as like another developmental brand, because there's a lot of stars in AEW that, you know, you got older stars who were being phased out of the WWE that get to make a second light. People like Saraya, Bryan Danielson, Edge, who had career-ending injuries, but getting to have another resurgence in AEW, and they had some good runs over there. People like Tony Storm, who got completely fumbled in the WWE, end up being, you know, a huge name and possibly the biggest star of AEW right now. And like Ricky Saints, formerly known as Ricky Starks, like I first saw him at AEW and he impressed me, and now he's coming to WWE and impressing me even more. You know, Sean Spears used to be Ty Dillinger. You know, there's a lot going on. Like, I don't see multiple companies as a bad thing. It's good that other talent has a place they can go to develop their skills and to show off to the world, hey, this is what I can do. It's great. I want to say I have no loyalty, but that's not true. I definitely watch far more WWE than anything else. Because with WWE, I watch almost every show on every brand. I watch most of the PLEs. AEW, I have not watched a single PLE ever. It's not worth paying for. They have not shown me that it's worth giving them any of my money. So yeah, haven't watched the PLE, haven't bought any much. But when it's on my TV, I will sit through it and I will enjoy some of it. Plus, AEW I really look forward to because they've got a decent women's division. And WWE's women's division is kind of going to shit. You would think that introducing mid-card titles would help boost the women's division, but it hasn't at all. And it's just so disappointing. Because WWE has some of the best female wrestlers ever. I mean, Becky Lynch, prime example. Amazing. You know, Bayley, one of my personal favorites. You got a lot of the youngsters at NXT. NXT might have one of the most stacked women's division. But I look forward to AEW a little bit more. And half of that, I mean, for one thing, since I started watching a few years back, it's WWE has done everything in their power to completely bury the tag team division. In fact, I feel like, you know, they might as well not even have a tag team division right now on the women's side because they're not using it at all. Like, legitimately. I mean, there are so many people that when they got their call up, I'm excited to see more of them, to see them have a chance at the belt, to see some epic matches. They have Fire and Dawn called up to the main roster. They immediately lose their tag belts to Ronda and Shayna, who are both gone now. And so, you know, so they got rid of the separate NXT belts, and yet somehow the NXT tag teams are still better than anything on the main roster. And that's the fault of the main roster, because, I mean, look, you have Bayley and Lyra, a team that literally was slapped together the night before. I mean, I don't mind them winning, but let them come out last and win. Don't make them go out first and literally destroy a bunch of tag teams that have been together, some of them for years. Especially since it's not even about the tag belts, it's about having an excuse to bring Becky back. I mean, there are other ways you could have fed into this feud. None of the mid cards were defended at WrestleMania. You could have had the Bayley versus Lyra match at WrestleMania and have that end in disqualification because Becky returns to attack Bayley and injure her, and then Lyra comes after her for revenge. That could have been an interesting storyline, but no. You decide we're gonna use these these belts, these titles as a prop to bring Becky back and to start a feud with Lyra. And then, Liv's going to be gone and we're just not going to defend them for a whole month. They just exist. I mean, they're not doing anything with the tag team division. And they end up cutting a bunch of tag team wrestlers. And it's bullshit. There's a lot of great things that could be done there. And they are completely dropping the ball. Not that AEW is much better. Do they even have tag titles? Because if they do, I've never seen them. I don't think they do, and they should. There are some great tag team opportunities there. Thunder Tits is a fun one. Harley and Mercedes could easily be like a new generation Rock and Sock connection, because you got the Too Cool for School badass and the fun but annoying little side character. Or you could do Harley and Anna, since they seem to have a good friendship going. Megan Bain and Penelope are a team right now that they're going after each other. This is a decent feud. Imagine how much elevated that would be if they had a belt on them. The point is, right now, the women's tag division in general in professional wrestling just isn't. It's feeling non-existent, and it's a good way to elevate a lot of talented people. And they just decided, now we don't feel like doing that. Though, I do want to say one thing in AEW's defense, because this didn't happen recently. It was like a month or two ago. I can't even remember. They had a PLE that got shit on. Everyone was saying it sucked. And you know what? It probably did. I didn't watch it. But there's one defense that I heard that just irked me, because it's just a bad defense. Because someone, I heard them say, this is the biggest event of the year for you, and you don't have the title change hands. I mean, what the hell is all this build-up for? And I'm like, listen, if you want to go after AEW, go after them, but go after them for legitimate reasons. Because, first of all, I feel like All In has always been like their biggest event, not whatever little thing they did back in February or whatever. So that's one thing. Second of all, Roman Reigns would like a word, because WrestleMania 39. I'm not even gonna say it was the best WrestleMania ever, but it was a really great WrestleMania. And it led to an amazing, basically year-long build-up to WrestleMania 40. And you know what? That ended without the title changing hands. So you saying that it's not good because the title didn't change hands? It's kind of a stupid argument, because that argument was already disproven 2 years ago. So it's just a bad faith argument, and it's really started coming off like this person just wanted to shit on AEW and was just happy to have an excuse that, everyone else hates it, so let me just say every negative thing that I can think of. But anyway, let's move on. I actually wanted to talk about Power Rangers today, but I don't think I'm going to. I might save that for a later video. I think tonight I just want to let you know what I'm planning to do next on this channel. I've got a couple things coming out. My next video is going to be the Jack Taylor fanfiction. That will be my first video in June, not counting this one. Because it's been almost a year. So I'm going to go ahead and do that one. It's been too long. But I should warn you, there's a reason it took this long to do it. I'm just not that excited about this particular video. It's, I think, right now a 6-part series. And so for episode 2, in my opinion, possibly the weakest episode. But, You gotta do episode 2, otherwise episode 3 might not make as much sense. But anyways, yeah, look forward to it. Don't look forward to it too much. Also, if you have no idea what I'm talking about, maybe I'll put a link in the description, or you can just go look back on my channel. Anyways, what I've been working on right now is actually a new series. It wasn't supposed to be a series. It started off as just, oh, this could be something fun to do, but now I'm like, I need to do more of it. It's forgotten 90s, 2000s TV shows. I enjoyed the first episode, but after, like, literally as I'm uploading it, I immediately remembered, oh shit, I completely forgot about this other show. Dude, I don't think anyone's talked about it since it stopped airing. And so I wrote that down, and then I just started writing down every TV show that I can remember from my childhood. Filtering them out, because, like, hey, I'm not going to talk about Buffy. It's one of the most popular things ever on TV. Not just then, but even to this day, it's lasted. Gilmore Girls isn't going to make the list, but there's a whole bunch of shows that are not on. So I've got like 4 more episodes of forgotten 90s, 2000s TV shows. And I'm going to talk about them. So, yeah, that's going to be what my main focus is after this. And after that, who knows? I'm still watching Power Rangers. I'm about halfway through Ninja Storm. And then after that, the plan is Jungle Fury, then Time Force. And then after that, I'm not sure what comes next. We'll see. We shall see. But I'm also looking at some other older shows, because I'm watching Sonic Underground, because I do want to do that. I also started watching Big Bad Beetleborgs again, because it's been long enough, and I never finished the series when it did air, because I never saw season 2 when it was on the air, and then I I keep trying to rewatch it but getting distracted. And there's a lot of like movies and other stuff going on, not to mention, like I said, it's wrestling every day. I'm trying to keep up with that. The WNBA season just started. I'm trying to keep up with that. I've been getting full-time at work, and I'm trying to survive that. Life gets in the way. There's a lot going on. But yeah, I'm trying to make sure I have content on this channel. So I've got the fan fictions, I've got the forgotten 90s shows. That's gonna be a series now. At least 4 more episodes, just based on what I have now. Who knows? I could end up having more. Probably not. I mean, the 90s is already over, so the list of shows is complete, and it's just, oh, do I find any more that oh yeah, I forgot to remember that one. But for now, 4 more episodes of that. And then, we'll see what happens next, because that's going to be the next 2 or 3 months of content, because I'm probably never going to do more than 3 videos a month on here. Like, unless I could find an editor to help me, because, like, that's half of it. The biggest problem with this is, like, okay, I got to write the script myself. I got to record it all myself, so I'm the cameraman and the on-camera talent. And then I got to do all the editing and uploading, and it's like, you know what? It's not always worth it. So yeah, yeah, that's it. That's my talking for the month. It might be another week or 2 before you see me, and well, now that I think about it, that makes no sense for me to say that here, because I'm telling you that it might be another week before I finish. Like, it might be a week after I record this that I finish editing and uploading it, which does you no good. But after I've edited and uploaded, it might also be another week or 2 after this that I end up doing my next video. But it's on the way. Stay tuned. And tell me a tag team you'd like to see. Ooh. On the men's side, there's one I'd love to see, because Killer Cross is having a moment. Aleister Black is back in. You know what? The Black Cross would be a hell of a tag team, because these are 2 guys that are shoot fighters, man. Like, they could fuck you up in real life, and they've got this aura about them. Like, make them a team. Anyways, That's the end of this video. Until the next time you see me, my name's Nathan Lyle. Blah blah blah. Whatever. I'm. Have a nice day.
You smoked all of it, didn't you?